She previously served as the chair of the Congressional Black Caucus. Congresswoman, I want to start with what we heard from Kamala Harris that she made in her address today, the point that she made. She seemed to make the point that she will be the prosecutor in chief if she's elected. Do you think that is a message that will resonate with voters?
I think it'll resonate with voters because we know who her opponent is. I think it works well because we have someone who has had some 34 indictments. We have someone who has broken the law. And I think it's important for her to let America know that as a prosecutor, she's used to prosecuting. I think it also will be helpful as they are on stage together, whether it's a debate, whether they're having a dialogue, that she's sending the message that she won't be afraid, that she will stand up to him in any of the tactics that he might have.
So you and members of the Congressional Black Caucus were standing very firmly with Joe Biden when he was still in the race. Do you have concerns about Kamala Harris's ability to win? And if so, what are they?
I don't have any concerns because she has been well vetted and certainly she's been battle tested. I think what we were saying, riding with Biden, as you've heard several of us say, and this is his decision and we support that. He also had said well before this happened that he would pick a vice president who would be ready on day one to fulfill his shoes or to become president. And so that gave me great comfort. I also know her. I've watched what the Biden-Harris administration has done. I've been on the trail campaigning for the Biden-Harris administration, and things don't happen in isolation. She has been fully engaged, whether it is foreign affairs, whether it's the economy, whether it's healthcare or our children. And she's had many great successes in all of those areas.
But do you think there should have been a contest for this nomination?
I think there actually was a contest. All of the states were told that if there was someone out there who wanted to run, they could. No one was forced to say when they went back to their state delegations, like I did in Ohio, that we voted to support her. I think people looked at what was out there. And I don't recall in those days prior to President Biden getting out and endorsing her, I didn't hear whether it was a governor or governors or United States senators saying, I'm going to run or I want to run. And certainly that was not taken away from them.
So, Congresswoman, I want to ask you about some of the messaging we're hearing from Republicans today who are calling Kamala Harris the DEI hire, so diversity, equity, inclusion, pointing to the fact that they say Joe Biden selected Kamala Harris as his vice president because she was a woman and he wanted to have a woman on his ticket back in 2020. What do you think of that?
Oh, I think it's ridiculous, but I'm also not surprised. When people are afraid of what they're running up against, they try to come out with things. We know that they've made some of the most racist statements about Black Americans. They've made derogatory statements about women. So I'm not surprised with what they've said. You have Donald Trump and his running mate, J.D. Vance, who wants a national ban on abortion. He has actually said if a person was raped or if it was from incest, he still wanted a national ban. Two wrongs don't make a right, and it was just inconvenient. So the mentality and the thought process that we have with those two candidates, I am sure we will see and hear a lot worse on the campaign. And I can tell you that Vice President Harris will be ready to deal with it, to prosecute it, to stand up against it. And you have to look at it. She's won every election that she has ran in. And so when you think about why President Biden picked her, it didn't have anything to do that she happened to be a Black woman. He picked her because she is won in the largest state in the nation as district attorney, as attorney general, a U.S. senator.
So let me ask you this, Congresswoman. You mentioned J.D. Vance. He's a senator from your state, Ohio, of course. If you look at the last two presidential elections, Ohio has voted for the Republican candidate, for Donald Trump. What do you think Kamala Harris would have to do to have a chance to win a state like Ohio?
I think she has a great chance. When I look at the number of people, women, Black Americans, Brown Americans, getting excited about this new opportunity. Unfortunately, people didn't feel the excitement after a 90-minute bad debate with Joe Biden against Donald Trump. And now you're seeing 44,000 women, Black women, got on a call. 30,000 some Black men got on a call last night, and in a few hours raised more than $3 million.
So, Congresswoman, can I just ask quickly, what
Yes.
about working class voters in a state like Ohio? Because obviously swing states, Ohio is not one of them, but swing states will be especially critical.
Well, let me just take you. You cited the last election. Let me take you back to Barack Obama. Everyday working people were on the ground because they were energized and reinvigorated to do that. I think we're going to see the same thing.